Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV. There's a popular strategy going around that agents are telling their clients in getting a property, and I want to explain to you how this particular strategy is probably really bad or can be really bad for you. So here's the strategy. You have multiple offers on a property, and you want to be the one to guarantee you get the property. So what you do is you play this game, and the game you play is you bid a really high price, way over what you even think other people are bidding, knowing that at some point it's going to have an appraisal done for a loan, and then when the appraisal comes back, the appraisal is going to be less, and the seller's going to have to renegotiate the deal, which happens a lot. But I'm going to show you in a scenario where that can be bad for you. Okay, so here's the scenario. We have a house with a list price. Okay, and we'll say the list price is $160K. Now, with a $160,000 list price, there are multiple offers. You don't know how many. It could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 20. So your client really wants the house. You've looked at the comps. House is worth about 160, maybe 165. Okay, so the value of the house is between 160 and 165, and you just go big and you offer $180K, $180,000. You're $20,000 over that amount. You know it's never going to appraise. There's no comps to support this. Your goal is to tie up the property, and then later on down the road when you're getting close to closing, spring the appraisal on and go, look, we can't close, we need a price reduction. Also, you asked for $6,000 in closing costs for your client. So your net is $174. Now, this is what happens. You get an appraisal at 170K. Okay? So your list price was 160, you offer 180 asking for 6,000 closing costs. Appraisal comes in at 170. You go back to the bank and say, we want the price drop. We want $10,000 knocked off the price. And the bank comes back and says, we'll do that, but you're going to have to give up the $6,000. So we'll give you 170, but the 6 is gone, right? It's gone. That $6,000, take it out of it. We're not paying it anymore. If we're going to give up 10, you're going to give up 6. So the buyer's like, well, what if we don't? Well, we're going to cancel the deal, put it back on the market, and get another buyer. So they go, okay, we'll do it. We'll go down to 170. Well, here's the problem with the strategy. The problem with the strategy is, in this scenario, all the other offers were at list price. So you didn't have to go up to 180. The problem with this is, if they'd offered 170, if they'd offered 165 or 170, they'd have been fine. Okay? If they'd offered 170 with 6,000, they still would have got it. 170 with 6,000 to 165, it still would have been above everybody else. And your appraisal would have been fine. You would have got the 6,000 closing costs. So what happened here was the overbidding cost the buyer $6,000 in closing costs that they didn't have to give up. They didn't have to give those up because they just overbid it. They were just trying to seal the deal. But remember this, when you get a property and it doesn't appraise, the seller's probably going to ask you for something to come back off your side. And in this case, that's what they did. The buyer ends up losing out. The seller's pretty happy because they sold it for way above list price. They sold it for more than the other offers, and they're only netting $4,000 less than they thought they would. But anyway, I wanted to point the strategy out to you because if you need to be realistic with your offers, and make sure you're offering what you think the house is worth and not playing a game with offering either really low for a certain reason or really high for a certain reason, because in the end it can end up hurting you like it did here. Because the bottom line is, if they cancel this deal now, they're out. They've paid for an appraisal, they've paid for inspection costs, they're going to have to go through the process of multiple offers on another property to get it, and it costs them $6,000 to play that game because the agent didn't do a very good job with this. Outrageous. In this scenario, the agent even told me, we knew it wouldn't appraise. We thought max it would appraise for 165. We offered that because we wanted to make sure we got the property. And their clients now are out $6,000 in closing costs they have to pay. They wouldn't had to have Anyway, that is my update for today, and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.